Do you actually know what your cat is doing while you sleep? You probably picture them curled up beside you, quietly resting. But the moment your eyes close and your breathing slows, something shifts. Your cat steps into a completely different mode, one you were never meant to witness. What happens in those dark, silent hours reveals more about the bond between you and your cat than anything they do during the day. These are quiet, almost secret behaviors, and if you don't know how to read them, you might be misunderstanding your cat entirely. Today we're uncovering 6 of those things, and I guarantee that by the end of this video, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. If you're someone who genuinely wants to understand what's going on inside your cat's head, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel so you never miss what's coming next. Every single video is worth your time. Let's start with the strangest one. While you're asleep, your cat quietly approaches your face and gently places a paw on your cheek or taps your nose. Most people who experience this assume their cat wants attention, is being affectionate, or is angling for an early breakfast. But the truth behind that small gesture runs much deeper than any of that. Cats are remarkably sensitive to biological rhythms. When you enter deep sleep, your breathing pattern changes dramatically. It slows down, becomes heavier, sounds nothing like it does when you're awake and moving through the world. To your cat, that shift is a signal, and it activates something ancient and instinctive inside them. That soft tap on your face is not random. It's a status check. Your cat is confirming that you're still responsive, that there's still movement, that you're okay. This behavior traces back to survival instincts that felines have carried for thousands of years. In the wild, small cats live within tight social groups where monitoring one another can be the difference between life and death. If a member of the group stops responding, they need to know right away. What your cat does with you is no different. They have brought you into their most intimate social circle, and in their mind, you are now their responsibility. On top of that, researchers have documented cases where cats displayed persistent alerting behavior toward their owners right before those owners experience medical events like seizures or dangerous drops in blood sugar. It appears that cats may be capable of detecting subtle shifts in body chemistry through scent and close physical contact, picking up on signals that no human would ever consciously register. So the next time you wake up to a paw on your nose, remember, it's not about breakfast. It's about them watching over you. Now let's talk about those late night sprints. If you have a cat, you know exactly what this is. The whole house is perfectly quiet. It's 3 in the morning, and suddenly your cat launches through the hallway like something invisible is chasing them. They bounce off the couch, ricochet around the bedroom, tear down the corridor at full speed, and vanish just as fast as they appeared. It looks completely unhinged. But there's a logic behind it that makes perfect sense once you understand how a cat's brain is wired. Cats are crepuscular animals, meaning their nervous system is calibrated to peak activity around dawn and dusk. Those are the hours when their prey was historically most vulnerable, and also when certain predators began moving through the landscape. That programming doesn't disappear just because your cat lives in a climate-controlled apartment with a self-cleaning litter box. It's still there, hardwired into their biology, running in the background every single night. But here's the part most people never hear. Those midnight sprints aren't just excess energy looking for an exit. They're a security sweep. Your cat is moving through the territory, checking access points, scanning for anything that shouldn't be there. And that territory they're protecting, it includes your bedroom, it includes your bed, it includes you. Studies on domestic cat behavior have confirmed that even cats raised in completely safe enclosed environments still execute these nightly patrol routines because their internal clock simply refuses to accept that danger isn't a possibility. For them, that hour of night will always demand full alertness. Now let's move to something you've probably noticed but maybe never fully understood. Your cat climbs onto the bed, settles in beside you, and begins pressing the blanket with their paws in a slow, rhythmic motion. Forward, back, over and over, like they're kneading dough. A lot of owners write this off as a cute leftover habit from kittenhood, and they're partially right, but only partially. This behavior does begin in the earliest weeks of life. Kittens use that same pressing motion against their mother to stimulate milk production, and it becomes deeply associated with warmth, safety, and comfort during the most vulnerable stage of their existence. But when an adult cat does this on your blanket or your pillow, there's an additional layer that most people completely overlook. Cats have scent glands embedded in the pads of their paws. Every time they press down onto a surface, they're depositing their chemical signature onto it, an invisible mark loaded with personal information. When your cat needs your bedding, they're claiming that space, but not in an aggressive or territorial way. In feline language, marking a spot with that level of care and repetition signals that it's a shared refuge with someone they deeply trust. It's the same behavior that two strongly bonded cats would perform when sharing a sleeping space. Without a single sound, your cat is telling you that this space belongs to both of you, that you're part of their inner world. Let's talk about something that makes a lot of people uneasy. Your cat is completely frozen in the middle of the dark room, staring intensely at an empty corner. Eyes wide open, body rigid, tail perfectly still. And you see absolutely nothing there. It's the kind of scene that can send a chill through you, but the explanation behind it is genuinely fascinating. A cat's eye contains a structure called the tapetum lucidum, a layer of reflective cells positioned behind the retina that amplifies whatever light is available and bounces it back through the photoreceptors for a second pass. The result is night vision that leaves ours completely in the dust. In conditions so dim that a human can barely make out their own hand, a cat sees the room in sharp detail, but vision is only one piece of the puzzle. The feline auditory system is equally extraordinary. Cats can detect frequencies reaching up to 64,000 hertz. Humans, at our very best, top out around 20,000. That enormous gap means your cat is constantly picking up sounds that simply don't exist in your world. An insect moving inside the wall, pipes contracting in the cold, ultrasonic vibrations traveling through the floor beneath you. When your cat appears to be staring at nothing, they're actually processing a dense, layered stream of sensory information. Their ears rotate independently to triangulate the precise source of a sound. Their whiskers detect the faintest shifts in air current. They are fully occupied, even though from where you're standing there's nothing there at all. Now we arrive at one of the most surprising behaviors on this list, and also one of the most deeply intimate. Some people wake up to find their hair slightly damp, a few strands out of place in a way that doesn't quite match how they slept. They assume it was just movement during the night. But if you share your home with a cat, there's a very real chance that your cat spent part of the night quietly licking or gently nibbling your hair while you were completely unconscious. This behavior has a name in the world of animal behavior: allogrooming. Among cats, the act of grooming another individual is reserved exclusively for those with whom a deep social bond exists. It is not something they do casually. They do it with their mothers, with siblings they were raised alongside. With long-term companions, they've built a relationship of absolute trust with over time. It is a ritual of intimacy and belonging, one of the clearest signals in feline social life that another individual is considered family. When your cat grooms your hair while you sleep, they are extending that same ritual to you. They're not confused about what you are. They're not acting on some random impulse. They are treating you as one of their own. Some animal behaviorists also point out that cats are drawn to the natural oils and the particular scent that human hair carries. Your smell is deeply familiar and comforting to them, and blending their own scent with yours through grooming is a way of reinforcing the bond, quietly in the dark, while you have no idea it's even happening. What makes all of this so meaningful is the context in which it occurs. Not during the day, when you might notice and reward them with affection, not when there's any possibility of recognition or response. It happens at night, in complete darkness when no one is watching and nothing's expected in return. Your cat gains nothing visible from any of these behaviors. There's no pet, no praise, no acknowledgement. They do it anyway. And that brings us to the final piece, the one that ties everything together. Remember how we said your cat checks on you in the night, confirming that you're still there, still breathing, still safe? That's only a half of what happens, because after they've done that check, something else follows. Something captured by researchers using low-light cameras and studied by animal behaviorists who wanted to understand feline emotional expression at its most unguarded. After confirming you're okay, your cat sits quietly beside your sleeping face and performs a slow blink. Eyes half closed, then fully shut, then slowly open again. Among cats, this gesture carries enormous weight. It signals complete trust. It means, I feel safe with you. I am not on guard. You are someone I can let my defenses down around entirely. It is one of the most vulnerable things a cat can do in the presence of another living being, because closing your eyes means surrendering your awareness, even for a moment. Your cat does this to your sleeping face, not for your reaction, not because you'll see it or respond to it. They do it because the feeling is real, and this is how they express it, in the language they were born with, directed at someone who will never even know it happened. That is the truth about cats. Their deepest affection lives in silence, in darkness, in moments you will never witness. And maybe that's exactly what makes it so genuine. It was never for you to see. It was always just for you to have. If this video gave you a new way of seeing your cat, share it with someone who loves theirs. Leave a comment telling me which of these 6 behaviors your cat does, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss what's coming next.